You're listening to Hersam Acorn Radio.
I don't really know what to play.
That's fine, because the point is, Tim, and welcome back to your coffee break, presented by Stratford Orthodox, John Kovac, Kate Chaplinsky. We're joined by Tim Sway, and the guitar that he is playing, not that long ago,
Was actually the Hammond Acid Pier in Madison, Connecticut, but then Hurricane Sandy kind of did a number on it, and so I had bought a bunch of the wood to make some tables, and then all the pieces that were left over from the tables I made guitars out of. I really wanted to see how far I could go with making a guitar out of trash, and
Pretty far.
pretty far. Yeah, the one on the table here is also made from the pier, and then I actually made my own bridge on that one there, the little thing that holds the strings out of all scrap metal.
I can see
and
that.
Oh,
That's
wow.
fantastic.
my favorite part of this, and it's probably the most boring part, but the strap pegs here, I don't know if you can get on that, is it's made from an old carriage bolt that I turned on a metal lathe, and I think it's my favorite part because I had just bought the metal lathe at the time, so so it was an excuse to use it. But it's just trying to really see how far I could go with using repurposed materials and making something functional and beautiful out of them.
Now, Tim, when did you start doing this kind of thing?
Well, when I was a little kid, I used to break a lot of things and take stuff apart. And then as I got older, I started figuring out how to put it back together. And then I started putting it back together differently. And now I'm doing this. So I guess forever would be to answer that correctly.
Yeah. And it's become a business for you, right? I mean, this is very popular, I imagine, with people. It's beautiful stuff that you're able to reuse and repurpose.
Thanks. Yeah, it's I'm not usually making guitars. There's not too much of a market for guitars made out of boardwalks. Apparently, I just found out.
Who knew?
I know.
I don't know. People are going to see this, and hopefully somebody's going to want that because it's such a beautiful piece.
Yeah, maybe. But mostly what I do is I make furniture and tables and coffee tables and bookcases and whatnot out of reclaimed materials and salvage materials. I work with wood and steel and whatever I can get my hands on. Really, I see how much stuff we use and how much of it is going out to the curb every Monday for the trash man, and I try to just make that a much smaller pile and bring it back into our lives. It's just the more I do it, the more I see the need to do it, and the more I see the need to tell people about it.
And where are you based out of?
Well, I live in Wallingford with my wife and kids, and my workshop is an old chicken coop in Meriden, Connecticut. That is, it's great. There's actually a little farm on the property where they just started, and the chickens are there, so I get to say hi to them every morning.
How much stuff do you see thrown out that could have another purpose through what you're doing, which you're calling upcycling?
That's what I like to do. Almost everything. I mean, recycling is great. We all know that recycling is great. We know that there's some problems with the structure of recycling and whatnot, but it's great. Why? We don't want to throw it away. We want to reuse it. But what's better than that is to just not throw it away in the first place, because in order to recycle something, you have to put it on a big truck, and the truck has to use gas to get to the plant, and then the plant has to process all these big machines. And if we just don't let it go there in the first place, it seems better. So I try to. Obviously I understand I'm not saving the world with these silly guitars, but I just trying to make, I'm an artist. I'm trying to make a statement about it, and showing that, well, this was stuff that was, this was stuff that was thrown away that, we could continue to use. And so sometimes there are pieces that are a little bit on the crazier side. Like I have a bass guitar made out of a water ski. A wooden water ski. No one uses wooden water skis anymore, but I do as a bass, and
it looks awesome. I've seen
it plays great too, man. I love that thing.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like it
Tim's
sits
also
perfectly.
a musician, by the way.
Obviously,
Yeah,
believe it or
and
not.
we should say Tim has a connection to a lot of the staff here, right?
Oh,
That's why he just gave a little hello to someone off camera.
Yeah. Full disclosure that I did work for this chain for quite a long time, and they were very very good to me in supporting my music and my art, and I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you guys letting me come back and take up some of your time.
This more an art than a business?
What
you're doing now?
Can be both.
You worked with me every day for how many years, and I never got you with a question quite that hard.
It's it's funny. I decided that, and it was really through the good graces of Hersam Acorn in a lot of ways, that I had the opportunities to go out and just pursue doing what I want to do and not worry so much about making the living. And you guys set me up with that in a lot of ways by letting me work part-time and from home and giving me the flexibility to do that. And I was able to branch out, and now look what I do. I make stuff out of trash.
Yeah.
But it's my first goal is to enjoy life and do what's right. My second goal is to make money. You know, if it's even the second, it's probably even further down the list. But I'm much more concerned with being happy and raising my children to be happy and showing them that they can do what they want to do, and they don't have to worry about the nuts and bolts of it as much. I'll do the nuts and bolts part. You know.
That's great. I know we have some photos of some of your work. I mean, you make such a variety of things. I saw some beautiful tables, some stools there, even some ebony necklaces from a piano, right? Can you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, I made a couple times. I've gotten actually a friend of mine gave me this collection of old pump organs. I still have a bunch of them, and they don't really work, and some of them are just kind of shot. And yeah, that's a piano key there. I had also there's this water damaged upright piano that we took apart, and just little things like that. Like these are just those little black keys on those pianos. You know, there's 40 or 50 of them. I should know. And I don't. But and they're just this beautiful piece of rare African wood that's part of the pump organ there. You'll see that it shouldn't be thrown away. And when people throw away pianos, they throw that away. They scrap the metal, and because there's value in quotes in the metal. But that stuff there isn't, and it's beautiful.
But it's such a striking design, and we had it up there a minute ago, the necklace made of the black key. It's so striking in its simplicity that it just really catches my attention.
Yeah, I like those a lot, and I got a lot of compliments on them, and it's sort of like where these guitars are this heavily engineered things. It's like you don't even necessarily have to do that. I just like to take the time to look at what's there, and sometimes less is more, and less work is more. You know, I brought some gifts for you too, of stuff that I made.
We like gifts.
This is this is for you. It's I made some flowers out of.
That is so cool.
That is so cool.
I can tell you that it's a little fragile. It might fall apart. The curly yellow flower stems, those are bed springs I pulled out of a bonfire. And then the red flower is a piece of a swing set that is on a fork.
Wow.
That I got at the dump. And then the yellow flowers are a piece of like a wooden. There was like a leg for a table or something. I don't know. The vase is a branch that came down in my yard, and I turned it on a lathe. And then those little curly things were just like I had kind of put these together, and I was drilling out some metal for this job I'm working on, and those are coming off my drill as I drilled, and I was like, oh, these are perfect for the flowers I just made, and so I spray painted them green and stuck them in there.
Wow.
So, and then John,
gorgeous work of
I
art.
didn't get you flowers, but I thought you might want to.
That would be
No one gets John
I got you
flowers
this
anymore. It's
very
just not right.
surprised-looking guy, and it's
that's very that
it's-
pretty much fits.
That's like John in
I
a
like
nutshell.
it's a pencil holder that you sit on your desk.
That is
And when I'm not in,
So
I'll just
cool.
leave that, and it'll be just like me.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Be like,
somebody-
hey John, did you get the memo I sent you? And you go, how come you're not answering? And then you can
Tim
put
has
your
never seen that expression from me in all the years we've known each other. Tim has never seen that.
It's also this is where you put your business cards right there. So
Oh,
you
that.
can-
Oh my
I
gosh.
don't really have one.
Oh, that's cool.
You pencils and paper clips or whatever, and then
Oh, that is awesome.
kind of lets
Thank
people know
you
how you're
so
feeling. That's a
much.
piece of barnwood of some sort. I don't know what barn it came out of. I'm sorry, I lost track.
But that's where you're getting the raw materials. They're coming from barns. I know I've texted you photos of cut up trees that were on
Yeah.
their way to environmental recycling. Bowling alley, I saw that you got a lot of items from and really
Yeah.
did some very creative stuff. And we're going to see all of this on national television in the very near future. Some of it.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm on the tour. I'm promoting. I got to film over the winter. I filmed a TV show called Trashformers, and it's airing this Friday at 10 o'clock on the FYI network. And it was myself and 3 other like-minded designers. They call us designers. I just say I make stuff. And we were tasked with tearing apart large objects and making smaller, valuable things out of them. The host was Brooks Atwood. He's a Brooklyn designer. He was on HGTV. He was one of the. I think he came in second place in a Design Star thing. And so we did 3 episodes of this show that are airing. 2 of them this Friday at 10 and 11, and then the following one, the 17th at 10 o'clock. And the first one is we tear apart an airplane, and that was my favorite episode too. And it was like I think the one I did the best in personally, because some of my ideas really stunk. I'm not gonna lie to you, but and the judges let me know that, you know. But it was a pretty neat experience, and it was on par with what I do about trying to just make these statements and these messages to people about what they're throwing away and what they're using, and to just think twice.
What's the strangest thing you've ever used to make something? Strangest piece of trash?
Something that someone wanted.
or maybe they didn't want it.
I mean, I've definitely had a lot of failures made out of things that I've messed around with. I like using bike parts, and I like using musical instrument parts and turning stuff into musical instrument vice versa. I'm always interested in that. I think that, one of my favorite pieces I've made was I took I don't know if you had a photo of it or not, but there's a bass drum coffee table I made.
Ooh.
And it was, I basically just took an old kind of garbagey like kick drum that didn't really work, and it was broken, and I cut it in half, and then I asked all my drummer friends to give me all their used drumsticks they didn't want anymore. And I had one friend, Donnie, hey Donnie, and, and he's like, oh, I got it. He pulls this bucket, it's like this 5-gallon bucket just full of broken sticks, and so I named the table after him. I called it the Donnie, and
Nice.
and I made a top out of these sticks, so it's almost like a conveyor belt, like you can roll the sticks, but then you can still like set a wine glass on it, and I just thought it was really cool.
That is really
I love that
cool.
idea.
Yeah, it was because it's so functional to have
Yeah.
a conveyor belt for a.
It is. For a wine glass? Yeah, it is.
Very.
Now, we should say you're no stranger to video, so you post a lot of YouTube videos, actually.
Yes, I have a YouTube channel, which is just youtube.com/Tim Sway, and that's my where I do most of my stuff. I started making these videos as sort of like proof of my work. Like if a customer ordered a table, I'd be like, oh, well, here's a video of me building as like a creation story. And also because I get annoyed, there's a lot of these stores that sell things and they're not always what they say they are. And so I wanted to really like show what I'm doing and prove that this is actually local and this is handmade, and I don't have a staff of immigrant workers behind me or anything. I'm not breaking any laws. I'm not doing anything illicit. I'm making tables out of stuff that I got out of our neighborhood, and I'm giving it to you in your neighborhood. And it turns out there's this whole amazing like online woodworking community that hopefully some of them are listening right now. They're all around the interweb and we chat, and there's all these guys that are doing the same thing and making these videos of like how-tos and tutorials, and I sort of got wrapped up into the excitement of that, of like, wow, there's other guys that think like me and do stuff, and they're all like much more qualified to talk about making things than I am. I'm just like lucky to be kind of running with them, you know.
You and I have had, over the years that we've known each other, a number of discussions about the creative process. Where in the process do you see what this discarded piece of wood that someone thought so little of that they took it to the dump, where in it do you see what it can become?
Well, it's funny that you mention that, because when I started doing stuff like this, I didn't have a lot of tools and I didn't have a lot of knowledge that I've been slowly accumulating. And so I would tend to look at things like if I had a piece of wood that was a certain size and shape, I couldn't necessarily just process it down to whatever size and shape I wanted. Nowadays, I have all these tools, and I almost feel like it hurts the creative process because I can look at, I could take this guitar, I could cut it up and make it into another guitar now. Like I have all this stuff to do that. So it does get tricky sometimes, and I don't really know exactly where it comes from. I know that like this one piece I just made is my most recent video on my YouTube page. I had a tree branch and a couple of bike parts. I made this like weird looking hall table, this like half bicycle, looks like. And I made this.
That's a great piece.
Thanks. I made one before and someone liked it and asked me to make another one, so I got even better at it. Oh, you're showing.
Oh, we're showing one of your videos right now. This is an entertainment console.
Yeah, this went to a Connecticut woman. She was super awesome. And this is an example of what I do. This is actually a good video to show because I just got a new camera. So
Practicing all those great
all
angles.
the blurs
Yeah.
out and stuff, you know. Like, oh, this camera's fun. How did this work?
So that's so neat. So not only is someone getting like a beautiful custom piece of furniture, but they can see how it came to be, which I think is such a neat part of that.
Right. I think so too. Part of what I'm doing besides the environmental stuff that I'm trying to talk about, it's also just the consumption, the way we consume things and the way we shop, and we all know that things are being made overseas and China. We all know this and that and the quality and all that stuff in the stores and stuff and whatever. And I'm not, saying that we shouldn't be doing this, but I just think about the how many times I in my life have bought something that didn't last very long and I ended up throwing it away. And I don't want to make stuff that doesn't last, and I don't want us to continue to buy that way and to shop that way and just get crates of cool stuff in and then just throw it away when it's not cool anymore. And I want everything, to have purpose and have meaning and be special to someone. So when I make a video of me making something, that piece of furniture is even more special to that woman that owns it now. It's part of the family, and it should be, because it should stay with you, and it should go to your children, and not just become unstylish. And if it does go unstylish, like, don't throw it away. Give it to me, and I'll make it like stylish for whatever's cool now, or then or whatever. I do that too. I'll take old furniture and cut it and change it, and just don't throw it away.
Send it to Tim.
Yeah, if somebody does have wood, metal, anything that you might be able to use, can they reach out to you and say, hey?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can't always take everything because I'm not a hoarder. And it gets to a point sometimes where I'm like, oh, I got to stop taking this stuff because I want people to use it. But I can definitely, I mean, there's some great services, like just the free listings on Craigslist is amazing. And FreeCycle, if I don't know if there's one down here, I'm sure there is, freecycle.org. I'm at timsway.net. You can always contact me. I'd be happy to, make something for you or take something off your hands if I can. Or maybe even help find another place for it, Yeah, there are other options. Even just like trying to tell, and I'm going to work on this in my town in Wallingford. I know we just changed trash services. And I want to see if they can set up like a give or take pile at the dump, or instead of just going right into the dumpster, there's a place where people can kind of secure it for a week or two. Because I see so much stuff in those dumpsters, and you can't climb in there. You get in trouble, and I know because I have.
Many times, I'm sure.
There's an element of danger to it.
Yeah,
as
they
well,
don't. They don't like it when they're like, oh god, the guy in the yellow truck's here. Look out.
You've done some of these pop-up markets that are becoming more popular. Are any of those coming up?
I haven't been doing any lately. I found, for me, what I've been enjoying the most right now is making stuff that people want instead of just making stuff that I want to make and then hoping someone buys it. And the pop shop markets are great, but it's not really where people are strolling through a pop shop on a Sunday afternoon. They're not thinking like, oh well, there's my new coffee table. It's not really what I make. I don't make a lot of. And I'm also really not too into, making impulse buy type of things because I want people to consume responsibly. And so I do them sometimes in hopes that I can hand my business card out. And
Right.
I don't know if I have any, I don't think I have any booked right now. I've just been kind of busy promoting this TV show. And
Yeah. And how can people see some of your work and potentially, get a piece from you?
Well, I do have an Etsy page where I do have like the stuff that I make that isn't owned by someone else yet is on my Etsy page. My website timsway.net has links to that and to my YouTube page and all my other social media. And just give me a call. I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I'll just let me know what I can do, and I'd love to make it. And it doesn't matter if I don't know how because I'll figure it out. So.
And people can catch Trash Formers.
Trash Formers on FYI Network at 10 o'clock this Friday, the 10th.
Well, I'm excited. Well, Tim, thank you so much. This is a gorgeous present. I'm so excited about this.
Thank you very much.
And we
yeah.
love having you on. You have to come back sometime.
Sure, anytime.
Maybe we'll come to your workshop sometime and film
Yeah,
it.
you guys think you can bring this whole dog and pony show down there?
Yes, we'll do
Yeah.
it. Of
Cool.
We
course.
take this dog and pony show a lot of places.
Yeah, okay, just bring some dust covers and you'll be fine.
All right. Well, Tim Sway,
Thank you.
thank you so much. And you're listening to Coffee Break. We're going to take a break and be back with more after this.